Hi everyone, it is me, Sailor Moon, Serena, and it is me, Sailor Mercury, Amy, or Sailor Quicksilver. And today we're going to talk about some of the other things in the Sailor Moon followership that, some folks out there might or need not talk about. Now, one of the things happens to do with the dead time time that UPN and WB would give our show. You see, a lot of folk works will bitch and rant about the watch time not being there. And a lot of businesses will pull out on their showings if the showings aren't getting watched because they can't afford to make a big fee for selling showtime on a folk work before or after a show if the show doesn't have good watch time. Now, how does a show get good watch time? It has to be on a time where a lot of folks will be around to watch it, and it happened to be a show that folks want to watch. Now, a lot of folks did like to want to watch my show, but you see, the leadership of UPN and WB thought that putting my show on at 6:30 in the morning or 5:30 in the morning, when either most folks are still asleep or getting up, and then they wanted to bitch about why the watch time wasn't there, and then guilt it on all kinds of things, you know. So, yeah, my show, at least in the 4-1 Reichs, had a very on and off yesteryear, and it was known as the show that you just could not entrust on. And the grounds of that was, since UPN and WB, now CW and 20 to the point, but formerly UPN and WB, put it on at 5:30 in the morning or 6:30 in the morning, thinking that, oh, they're going to be folks awake at that time to watch it, and then being all shocked when the watch time for that show isn't doing very well. So what do? They don't guilt themselves. UPN and WB didn't say, well, we put it on at a bad time. Who'd be watching that show at 5:30 in the morning or 6:30 in the morning? Oh no, it has to be the show. The show is just unwatchable. And then the businesses that were selling their showtime on there, around 6:30 or 5:30 in the morning, would say, well, we're not going to be selling any more time to you because we're not getting our showings watched. You see, when a show gets watched, the businesses are hoping that their showings get watched too. So UPN and WB could not raise the fee on how much it would be for buying showtime or showings between a show. And at 5:30 in the morning or 6:30 in the morning, yeah, it was just not good. So they said, okay, Sailor Moon. They said, all right, Sailor Moon just isn't going to work out. And UPN and WB dropped it halfway during the 2 day following. Now, so then my show wouldn't get picked up till like 1 whole year later or so, when USA would get the rights to run my show, a part of the USA's Action Extreme team, or the utmost, the work utmost team, which it took the stead of USA Cartoon Express or the USA Live Drawing Fast, which was, and I ran there for at least a whole year, and between 97 YL. And then a new leadership took over USA and felt that drawing shows of any kind did not fit the folk work, and between 98 YL they were fully done with it. Then my show, you want to go on, Amy, or Sailor Mercury? Yeah. Then our show, Sailor Moon, went to cartoon folk work, or drawing show folk work, which is still around. And they ended up giving it a good watch time. Yes, USA gave it 7:30 in the morning, and cartoon at the time gave it about 4:30 in the afterday. So good watch time, but not much to make up for, but not much to make up for but didn't do much to make up for the bad mistake that UPN and WB did. Now, you might ask yourself, how did a settled land do it? Well, in the settled land, they had it on YTV from between 95 YL until, we're going to say, until about, 2000 and YL. But you see in YTV, our show gotten good watch time, was put on at a good time, so they didn't have to, so got a lot of good watch time in the settled land, even though, it still had to overcome a lot of, binds and things. So one of the things that our show in the settled land had to overcome was it too settled-landered. Yeah, I know that's a thing. So after that was about it. Now, I understand that, our show was also on the Fox Folkwork too. Believe it or not, Fox would also get the rights around the same time that UPN and WB would get the rights. But you see, Fox would not put our show on with Fox Kids. Oh, no, they would not. They would put our show on, like, at 5:30 or 6:30, just like UPN and WB would do, and our show wasn't even offshooted as Fox Kids. So yes, it was on Fox at the same time it was on UPN and WB if you were lucky, but yeah, it didn't really they did the same thing with it. Now, at the end of the day, what is the takeaway from that? Well, the takeaway from it is that Folkworks make mistakes with what time to put a show or a film on. Then instead of saying it was their mistake that they chose the wrong time, they either guilt the show and say, you should have been making a lot of watch time at 5:30 in the morning or 6:30 in the morning. There is no forgiveness, Or what UPN and WB and Fox thought was, Sailor Moon's just not, this is not catching on with the folks here with these North Vinlander 4-1 Rikers. What the fuck were we thinking? And as far as what it did in the 4-1, the Vinlander Settlelanders, yeah, kind of caught on. Now, at the end of the day, and I'm just going to hand it back to Sailor Moon to end us. At the end of the day, was our show good? Did it have a good run in North Vinland, the 4-1 Reichs in the settled land? Like you say, Sailor Mercury or Sailor Quicksilver, your guess is good as mine. If our show did well. Yes, I guess at the end of the day, our show kind of did all right. But, after being bumped from Folkwork to Folkwork, being given bad times to be booked on, yeah, I guess it wasn't really good in the 4-1 Reichs. With UPN and WB and Fox putting in at 5 o'clock, 5 or 5:30 or 6 or 6:30 in the morning. But then at least USA and Cartoon would put it on at a good time, like, 7:30 or 8:30 in the morning, or 4 or 4:30 in the afterday. So at least at least USA and Cartoon at the time handled our show a little more greater than UPN and WB and Fox did. And YTV in the settled land handled our show very well too. So that's the end of our film. If you like our film, then follow us over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Watch the other film we made early this morning with me and Tuxedo Mask or Black Tie Hide about why we cough in our films. Don't forget to share or rate or playlist this film. Give it a thumbs up, which is the same thing. And hitting that ringer when you're following us, so you'll be known when the next upload or live stream or short's been done. I, Sailor Moon Serena, I, Sailor Mercury Quicksilver Amy, and I'll see you later. Goodbye. Farewell. Now it's not shutting off again. Oh, fuck.